Kobe-san.
You're Barry-san?
助けて. What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This?
Music.
What's going on?
I should have just answered that with, "Hi."
You know, Kobe gets a pass because he's like 10 years older than me. And he grew up with Long Duck Dong.
I like when I was doing it, I was like, I kind of saw him like Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, man. You guys will get it in a second. Welcome to the third movie of Valentine's.
Of I Love a Monster.
I Love a Monster Month. Yeah, there you go. I just forgot. Oh, man. And today we're talking about the 2005's
Super romantic.
Meatball Machine. That sounds like a really hardcore porno.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I pay $9.95 to be on the Meatball Machine website.
It sounds like the prequel to the Midnight Meat Train. Also, another great movie.
It is, yes.
Right? One of Bradley Cooper's underrated performances.
Yes.
But before we talk about the movie, we do our a movie trailer, or I do it. So let's go to that. This one was really hard to do, so I kind of tapped into my 90s Mr. Movie phone type of thing.
Perfect.
Every day is the same, except when Yoji gets to go to lunch. He sees the only light in his world. Too bad the world doesn't want to shine a light on him. Will he be able to hold on to the girl he loves, or will they keep her away? Let's find out in 2005's Meatball Machine.
You actually, that was good. I'm intrigued. I wanted that. That's a nice romantic movie I want to see.
Yeah, and then after that, I just get hate email like, "Hey man, I thought this was gonna be super romantic," and all I was greeted with was some of like for 2005. Really amazing body horror.
Right?
The imagery in this movie is very unsettling, especially with all there's
lots of blood.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like innuendo type of disgusting imagery.
There is triggering scenes.
Oh God. Like
that aren't direct. They're like you said, innuendos. They're not so subtle.
No. Some of them are very like in your face about it.
Yes.
Let's this movie is 40 minutes at best of plot and 35 minutes of fighting.
Yeah, and it's 35 minutes of final fight scene.
Yeah. There's no build up, there's nothing showing Yoji being like sort of like a hybrid of the necrobots.
Right.
Necroborgs.
Yeah.
And human. No, there's not. It's just straight to the fighting. So let's just.
Which I feel like if this was an anime, that like would be completely plausible. Like you'd be like, yeah, no, of course. Well, but here, like it seems a little rushed. I wanted one more bad guy in there for him to defeat.
Right. Well, so this is my first time watching this, and this is like Colby's second time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't imagine this like on his rotation for Valentine's Day. But it actually reminded me of there's an anime like it called Parasite.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you've seen it,
yep.
Right? Same thing. Well, like it didn't. Not the same thing happens, but kind of like the premise is a little bit the same. He gets he gets his hand taken over, and then he goes around fighting the other fully taken over parasite hosts.
Right.
It's sort of like this, right?
Yeah.
So But Parasite did it better only because they had a whole series to do it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
This one is like a pretty short at 1 hour and 30, almost like a full moon
Right.
production.
Oh yeah. No, they definitely could have pulled this out into like a whole season of an anime.
Oh yeah, and I think that would have been good, but I don't think that budget would have been a heavy coin.
Right. Right. I would like it to have been a trilogy. I would have been fantastic.
Yeah, even if they adapted this to an anime, that would have been. I think that would work really well as an anime.
Right.
And then and it's gonna get worse though. Like the grotesqueness, the disgusting transformations that happen. It'll definitely get worse in the anime though.
That's true. Because like anime is like so over the top, but then that's just what you expect, and it's when they make it live action and then they do that much blood and that much body morphing and stuff. It's fantastic. It's like everything I want in a movie.
Oh yeah, and this is, for like the there's very minimal CG in here too, which is like I was really amazed with.
Right.
Because a lot of the imagery in here is disgusting. I was reading I was trying to pick up comments for like ratings for us.
Right.
Or for a review section, and there's one guy that's like, this was bloody, disgusting, but like not in the taboo way like the Serbian film is, but like in the over the top comical, but yet it looks so realistic that I was disgusted.
Right. Like this is like the amount of torture and morphing Rita does to her to the putties to make them into monsters to go fight the Power Rangers.
Oh, this is what you don't see.
And then the Power Rangers, like their sword actually just chops and sprays blood all over the city.
Oh, so these are the transformations you don't get to see in,
right.
in Sentai Rangers or whatever.
Yeah. Like you're like, oh, this is how it is in Japan, but they cut it back and they edit it for like
how traumatizing for
young
children.
Boys.
All right, so let's really the plot is really simple, right? We follow this guy Yoji. He is like a factory worker.
Yeah.
And every day he has lunch at this little on the outside, and he gets to see over to the next building, which I think it's a nursery,
right,
or something like that, because he overlooks this one girl who just happens to always be doing laundry whenever he goes to lunch.
Yep.
Right, and they see each other, they nod very politely, and Yoji takes that image home and he whacks it.
Yep.
Just so vigorously, he's like shaking the table. He gets interrupted by his neighbor, who for some reason just happens to have a key to his house. Maybe
right, just walks in.
Thank God he was done. But they seem pretty friendly. I feel like he's like a Japanese Kramer.
Oh, probably a good way to say it. Yeah.
Right? Because he seems pretty, his neighbor seems pretty rough around the edges, but he seems like he has Yoji's like best interests at heart.
Right.
He's like, this guy is like a quiet guy. He's always fiddling with like gadgets in his room. He needs a friend, or I feel like I'm going to be his first target when he snaps.
Yeah, and this is the guy who's like, hey, let me borrow money. I'll pay you back double when I get my paycheck, and then we'll go out and we'll get some beers, and I'll get you, I'll hook you up with some ladies.
Yeah, which, by the way, like, all right, so a little side tangent. I was on TikTok. There's this guy with a TikTok channel, and it's just him reviewing brothels all over the world that he's been to. It's like, I don't think this is like a good thing. But there's an anime like this called Interspecies Reviewers, where it's like a whole bunch of fantasy kind of characters.
Okay.
But like, I was like, that is insane that this is on TikTok.
He probably has enough followers that it's paying him to then go to these places
to review them.
To review them.
And then I was like, all right, I gotta dive deep in the rabbit hole. So I was like, let's see what this place he's talking about. And there's a YouTube video channel about it, but they call it exercising. And then the guy was like, oh, but this one's a little too expensive, and they're kind of like rushing you all the time. So I have another one. I have another video where the customer service is 100 times better, but the girls are like, they're not 10s, but they're like 8s. I was like, oh, and they're like throwing me tips like, oh, just if you go there, tell them that you're going to be an English teacher in Japan. That way, they're nicer to you. Because they want you to be
right. You're not just a tourist. You're going to be working there.
Yeah,
so
you'll be like a
regular.
Flyer. Yeah, regular. You know, I was like, oh my god. And all right, so this is a total side tangent, right? But then, so prostitution in Japan is illegal, right? But the way that these businesses sidestep that is, they say it's a restaurant, and these waitresses just happen to fall in love. And I'm saying that with all air quotes. I was like, this is insane. All right. So back to the movie. Yoji really just has a very simple life. You know, he goes to work. He sees the girl at lunch. He comes home. One of the more defining factors of that's like deviated from his regular schedule is he goes to an adult movie theater.
Right.
Which I was like, I didn't even know they still had. I thought that was like a thing of the past, like the 70s and the 80s, you know? That's where Pee Wee Herman got caught. It's like, man, listen, man, he should be allowed to do that. First of all, I think you were around for that.
I was.
Right. I was like, what else are you supposed to do in an adult theater? That's like going to a strip club.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So, but he gets harassed by a very rare sight in Japan, I feel like, like a cross-dressing man.
That's what I thought it was too.
It's definitely a dude.
Or a very homely.
Very.
But either way, very sexually aggressive towards him.
Yeah, very sexually aggressive. And so he like tries to dip, but then she follows him outside, and he's like, Yamero! And like accidentally hits her with his bag, and then he then gets the shit beat out of him.
Yep. Yeah.
And he spits on him too, and they really linger on that face shot with the spit dripping all over his face.
It is a very phlegmy.
But meanwhile, while all of this is happening, there's like this little pandemic that we see of these necroborgs fighting all over the city.
Right.
And there's like one guy who's out there killing these guys, and you think, oh, that's our hero.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, oh, is that Yoji? Is that like his, like, is he a Spider-Man type of situation? But then he takes this orb-like thing after he kills these necroborgs and then gives it to a girl.
Right. With an eye patch.
We don't know about, right? And so during one of the altercations early, while this is happening, while Yoji's in the adult theater, one of the necroborg's body is just shutting down. Yeah, so this parasite starts to look for a new host.
Yep.
Which I'm gonna let you know. Trigger warning. First of all, epilepsy and like child killing. How do you say that the right way, right?
Yep.
Because this movie is not afraid to kill some kids. Oh man. But so this parasite finds Yoji, tries to attach to him, but then all of a sudden shuts down.
Yeah.
So for some reason Yoji picks up the Pokemon Kabuto. That's what it looks like. Would you take that home?
I probably would. Really, it's like a breastplate of armor.
It kind of reminds me of the parasite armor from Star Wars.
Yeah.
The one with the shell that could deflect lightsaber blows.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not taking that home. It's slimed all over me.
Oh, that's true. Yes, it was. Well, one side was hard, and one side was slimy.
Yes, and
it did drip on his face a little.
Yeah, like I guess it cleaned the spit off of his face. But he takes it home, and then the next day, just to let you guys know, he has a terrible. All of his coworkers are like really shitty people.
Super misogynist.
Yeah, super misogynist. The boss is like, he's looking at the girl that Yoji likes, and he's like, "I'll have her, and then you boys can have her." I was like, "Oh, gross."
Yeah. Right.
And the worst thing is, like, I used to have a Japanese coworker who worked a lot. When she was in Japan, she came here like in America in her 30s, but she was just like, if I'd ask her about like, is that how the guys are? She's like, yeah, 100%.
Oh, jeez.
100%. They are all like sleazeballs. I was like, they can't be all sleazeballs. She's like, I like blue collar workers more than like, the white collar workers. Yeah.
Yeah.
The misogyny is real. That's what she told me. And so, Yoji totally hates his work life. So, but, he's at work and they're like, oh yeah, we're all going to go out.
Right.
And then they look at Yoji's like, yo, are you going to stay overtime again? All right. So Yoji, he brings the Pokemon with him.
Right.
The parasite. And he tries to drill into it.
Yep. And that big powerful drill just kind of boom.
Snaps off. I was like, oh, is this the end of Yoji? I thought it snapped off into him.
Oh.
Because at the speed it's going, right? It's gonna like...
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
That thing is probably stuck in a wall somewhere. But, no, so like he goes home. His neighbor comes again. He's like, oh, it's my payday. I'm gonna pay you back. And let's go eat. Let's go drink some beers. And they do that. And then all of a sudden Yoji runs. Not really runs, but sees.
Well, because he... And the neighbor takes him to like a brothel.
Well, only after he sees Yoji staring at the girl.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, yeah. And he's like, is that your girl? And then all of a sudden the girl's with the douchebag boss.
And so he's like, don't worry about her, man. Let's go. I'm gonna take you to a place with some nice girls. He's like, come on, man. What do you stop acting like it's like you haven't done it before? And he's like, huh? Maji? Really? Oh man. So they end up at a brothel, but he's like, no, I can't do this. This is not me.
Yep.
So he runs away, but as he's running, as he's going back home, he sees the boss, and the boss dragging the girl to a dark corner.
Yeah.
Or like a fence.
Getting very handsy, getting very fresh.
Oh yeah, he's about to rip her shirt off.
Yeah.
And so he stops it.
Yep.
Good for him. Sticking up for the girl that he likes, but he gets his ass beat. And
yeah.
The boss, like, I guess he loses his right boner. Because he's like, whatever, I'll just see you guys later. And he takes her, the girl helps him go back to his spot.
Right, because he's beaten pretty bad.
Yeah, he is stumbling, so she's like, let me, we just figure she helps him.
Yep.
And this is like very quick, right? But she tells Yoji like, oh, I only went out because I thought you were gonna go. Yeah. Because every time at lunch I see you and you always look so lonely. And I think for her, she found some sort of kindred type of spirit because she seems she's lonely too. Yep. And so, and then we get a cut to black, and they're all of a sudden on his floor, and he kisses her. Yeah. And he's like trying to undress her.
Right. It's like super awkward, first time kind of, I'm not sure if she really likes me or doesn't, but I'm going to kind of go for it. Like, yeah.
It's almost like they're teenagers, right? Yeah. And so, but before she gets undressed, she tells him, like, I have a hideous scar. Yeah. On my body. And I want to let you know right now, as someone who's worked in the healthcare, I was like, dude, that is not a fresh scar. Like, because this thing is like, it looks like it's about to start oozing pus. And he stops. Because then that's what I would do too. Because it looks fresh. Right. Yeah. And she starts. Well, obviously she's super insecure about this. Right. Right. And then
and it's big enough that, like, I mean, even if like she warns you, and then she like starts to take off her shirt and you see it, it's like you said, it's big and fresh enough that you're still going to be like, even if you're not stopping, you're like, I'm going to take a look at that just to make sure, like, I don't,
let me put some
I don't
Neosporin
accidentally
on it.
like rip it open.
All right, it looks that fresh, but then she starts to break down. She says, like, I have scars all over my body because my father wanted to make sure that no one else would want me, and it happened throughout high school, and I hit him with a crowbar, but even still till now, he haunts me.
Right, because she hit him with a crowbar, and now he's like he's an invalid, and she has to take care of him.
Oh no, fuck that! I'd stop paying that bill. Like I'd be like, no, I'm moving out of the country. I don't know who's gonna take care of him. You could just drop him off at the forest near Mount Fuji, just like how they used to do back in the day. Cause fuck that guy.
Yeah.
No, but then as she's breaking down, like Yoji, being a virgin, no clue how to handle this situation.
Right.
Right.
And being like just an introvert, just not knowing how to handle
people in general.
Yeah.
Right. But then the parasite starts to react to her emotional breakdown.
Right.
And bursts out and attaches to her. And this is where it gets pretty graphic and super uncomfortable because these tentacles start going all over her body and then it splits her legs open. I was like, oh my gosh.
And it very much insinuates what it's going to do with the one tentacle that's meandering between her legs.
It does it for a while though. Like, yeah. And the more disturbing part is, I was like, is she enjoying that?
Right. And why is he just sitting there watching?
Well, he already tried to pull it off, but then it smacked him with his like Doc Ock tentacle.
Right, yeah, with the
force of 1,000 suns. And and I don't know. I think I would be in shock as well.
Possibly, yeah.
Right? But then like she's making like the noises sound like not that of assault, but that of like it's very unfortunate. And then we get this disgusting graphic. I was like, what is this thing? And this thing is it pops up, right? And then another thing that looks like a dildo pops out and it sits on it.
Yeah.
I was like, that is disgusting.
Right, and it's hard to tell if
it is bad.
What parts of this are her and what parts of this are the parasite, because this is happening inside of her body.
Her shoulder. That's where the thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is gross. I was like, that is way too good of a process, like a prop.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Oh man. But then so she
it ends up being like a little predator.
Or like an alien, like an
alien thing, yeah.
It's just so gross. Like, I've watched a lot of movies, but this is disgusting. Oh man. But then she transforms into a necroborg.
Right.
And she's just like,
and there's a super graphic as it's taking control and building its little mechanical body over top of hers, like the eye drills.
Yeah.
That's like super graphic.
Well, it doesn't happen, but at first, she's still conscious of herself.
Yeah.
She's like talking to Yoji, like, what's happening to me? But then all of a sudden, Yoji's best friend comes in.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets gutted. And she's like, oh my gosh. And then the little eye drills come up. And I was like, man. And then they start doing the drill action. And then they show it.
Yep.
That was...
Yep.
That was the worst part, right? And so Yoji gets into an altercation with the Sachiko Necroborg. But then he gets scared away by our hero, I guess. I don't know. Well, a hero as of the knowledge of that part in the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? The doctor or something like that,
yep.
Right? He wakes up. He finds out that this guy is hunting these beings, and this is where we get an exposition dump. We find out that the girl is actually she got infected,
Right.
but he was able to rip it out, but he has to keep feeding this girl.
Yeah.
To sustain her, and he was like, I'm gonna do whatever I can to try to stop this and cure my daughter. Until we find out that he's actually breeding these parasites and making mutations of them to attack anybody. Because the reason it didn't attack Yoji was because he didn't have any emotional distress. So this doctor is breeding them to just attack anybody because he has to keep making food for his daughter.
Right.
So then he gets.
But he also knows quite a bit. So you get a little bit of backstory. You get that these are aliens that then crawl out of the sea, and that they fight each other. And once they fight each other, they eat the winner eats the loser.
Yeah. Wait, yeah.
And then that the actual little alien parasite thing lives in the silver ball that's usually on their shoulder, and that he's like impressed by them because they're like the perfect parasite.
Yeah,
he's a creepy doctor.
Yeah, it's a little bit of like Guyver. Right. But no, so he gets the parasite inside of him, and he ends up killing the doctor.
Right.
But he's able to stop one of the little eyepieces to get fully controlled by this parasite.
Yeah.
Which was cool because like when he rips the little eye thing, the parasite also gets his arm blown off.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
That was a good.
That was a cool one, right? But then so he escapes, and he's kind of just like walking around trying to find Sachiko because the doctor says if you want to help her, you have to kill her.
Right.
Because there's no reversing a full transformation.
Right. And it's just like the alien lives on their distress and their pain, and so like their life is just nothing but suffering.
This is fucking terrible. Right. But then a little girl finds Yoji, and she's like, "Are you a spaceman? Oh, are you hurt?" And he feels the gears start to turn, right? Because of the
yeah.
Oh no, he crushes the parasite on his shoulder.
Right.
But then something in him is trying to still kill things, right?
Yeah, it's just like the emotion, like just like leave me alone, kid.
Oh man, but he throws this rock at like bullet speed
through her
and just kills this tiny girl. I was like, oh my god, nobody is safe. But and Sachiko ends up being able to find the boss of Yoji who tried to assault her.
Right.
And turns him into like a huge tin can.
Almost like a human shield. Like she just wraps him in metal, and he's still alive, and like you can see his face, and like
she beat him,
and
and then wrapped him in tin metal. But then so in the final fight, Yoji finds her, but his emotions are raging so hard that he's able to burn through the cloth that he was hiding himself in.
Right. He goes Super Saiyan.
And as they fight, the funniest thing is like Yoji just keeps beating on the boss.
Right. Yep.
While Sachiko is using the boss as like a shield bashing tool.
Yeah, she's blocking his punches with the boss, but then when he like backs off, then she's swinging the boss like as a weapon.
Yeah. It's really, there's no way to describe this fight. You're gonna have to just watch it.
Right, yeah.
But it seems like Sachiko has the upper hand because she's fully transformed. So she has more, the parasite is giving her more access to creating weapons.
Right? Because and they do. They continue to body morph.
Yeah.
His arm's like a gun, and then it gets ripped off, and then it just like regrows into like a buzzsaw.
Yeah, like her arm is just many weapons, right? It's a sword, it's a buzzsaw, it's a cannon. Like it's all these things, and then Yoji just has like a gigantic arm,
Right. Yeah.
right? Which is like
yeah, Kira
right,
looking
yeah,
arm.
exactly. It's like really good for punching. Um, but Sachiko has like throughout the fight, towards the end of the fight, she starts to remember a little bit and gain some of her humanity back.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so
She's like fighting against
the parasite,
mentally fighting against the parasite.
yeah. And so the parasite is like she makes like a sniper cannon, but Sachiko's able to point it to her head, but then Yoji doesn't want her to kill herself. So his emotions start to rage so much that he makes a chest cannon and just absolutely obliterates
And
her.
all I can think is like he assumes that if she just kills herself, then she doesn't kill the alien and the little alien can escape and infect the next person.
Yeah, that's what I think it is too. Well, no, because then like even if she kills herself,
Yeah.
the little orb will just pop out,
Right,
like
right.
how other defeated ones have been happening. I guess he just didn't want her body to be left in that state. I guess.
I guess
It's hard to say, right? But he's able to do that. But then the doctor's daughter comes, and she pulls out the parasite that was in her neck.
Right.
Which, like, if you paid attention, like her neck kept breathing. I was
like pulsating, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's disgusting. It's like a huge cyst. And then she inserts it into his shoulder, and then he is able to rage so much that his head explodes and his body like disintegrates or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the movie kind of just ends, but then we get a clip of like the aliens talking about how this was just all a game to them.
Right.
And it was like them like sort of experimenting. They realized that if the humans still have their consciousness, that they're too powerful to mentally to be fully taken over.
Right.
And it's like it seems like they're setting up for like the next wave of invasions, because they're like now they were able to, they reformed Yoji and Sachiko to be the perfect Necroborg. They stripped away the clunky exoskeleton that it builds to, because they're like, oh, it's inhibiting their full potential.
Yeah.
And then the movie ends. Well, the movie ends with Sachiko and Yoji, the clones, yelling at each other. You know, and they're like, oh, the emotional ties that they have will make a very interesting game dynamic.
Right. Yeah.
And the movie ends. So before we go to what this movie could possibly mean, let's go to our rating of high star, low star. Kobe, you gonna start with the 5-star?
Yes, we got John. Oh, here we go. Oh, we got Johnny J. 5 out of 5. Know what you're getting into. Reviewed in the United States. Blah blah blah. This isn't your average Friday night flick. Alien parasites infect humans, causing them to mutate into necroborgs, which look like they were plucked straight from a Guar music video. Oh, that is so true. Lots of ichor, violence, carnage, no English spoken, just subtitles. Quite a wild ride if your boat floats on insanity.
Yeah, it is. We have I believe this was a 2-star. It's by GCH. I'm not usually very disappointed with this type of movie, and when I am, I kind of got suckered into this movie by the contrast references to Iron Man. This is not similar. I understand the comparison since all Japanese movies look alike. Joking. But this is a lot more Power Rangers. The other comparisons that gets thrown around a lot. That than Tetsuo and Meatball Machine. I'm not usually very disappointed with this type of movie, and when I am, I usually don't bother to write a review. but I thought it would be good to let people know they should watch a clip or two on YouTube before paying for this. If they are looking for something comparable to Iron Man or 964 Pinocchio, this really isn't it. Oh no, it's not Iron Man, Marvel.
Right.
Yeah, okay, sorry. The Iron Man had a lot more thought and work put into it, where Meatball Machine just has some of the goofy effects and tons of flailing tentacles. It was a bit like a Trauma movie. I'm not dogging Trauma, but if Meatball Machine is equal to Trauma, the Iron Man would be equal to I Am a Ghost. An example. More thought out and interesting instead of just something you can snicker at while smoking pot. Maybe I should have smoked some pot first. Do you guys have any pot I could smoke before my 7-day rental of Meatball Machine runs out? You could watch it with me.
So Trauma is Toxic Avenger.
Oh, okay.
So.
That's the abbreviation for it.
That the company.
Oh, okay.
It's a Toxic Avenger, Class of Nukem High, like stuff like that. That was Sergeant Kabuki Man.
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought he was just misspelling trauma movies. So, Kobe, what was your take on this movie?
Like I said, I love like these super over the top. Like to me, this is to like sci-fi like Rikio is to martial arts. Like that kind of like the fighting is just so over the top. There's not a whole lot of story. There's a lot of just excessive blood and gore and but like just like comically large amounts. Everything's practical effects,
Which is amazing.
yeah, except for like the cannon blast.
Yeah,
like everything else is practical.
Yeah, and some of the other tentacle effects were like you saw more of it full body versus like just from like the corner.
Yeah.
Which I was like, why are they moving so vigorously? Did you feel like there was any sort of metaphor for this movie? Let's try to make this movie a little bit more deep.
Yeah, like there was. I'm like definitely there was some tentacle rape. There was definitely like everything could be a little bit sexual. Like the cannons could have been penises, like especially there's the one that's like squirting the white stuff, like her.
I thought that was like acid. That's what I was waiting for. I was like, is that acid? I hope it is.
Right. That's what
you hope
may
it is.
have been, but it yeah. But so it could have been ejaculate. Who knows? Yeah. Everything seemed sexual.
So I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to see what the vision of this movie was, right? Because a lot of things can just be like clouded by like these visual effects. Just like in Tetsuo, it was like supposed to be like a visualization of how technology will take over our lives.
Right. Yes.
Right. That was like the main point for Tetsuo, right? That's how it became like a machine or like a hybrid, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right. So these parasites lash onto anybody with like emotional distress. But then like, it's on their shoulders instead of anywhere else in their body. So like, how people, they say, oh, he's walking around with a chip on his shoulder. So I was like, all right,
interesting.
Maybe that's it. Because like, if you're like, so if you would think, right, like for a parasite to be able to take control of the full like nervous system, you would think like, all right, maybe the back of the neck, because that's where the spine is.
Right.
Or like at the heart, the chest piece. So I was like, all right, maybe that's why the parasites are on there. And then maybe they only pick people with emotional distress because like for their will, like their mentality, they might be weaker.
Mm-hmm.
They might be, because they're in an emotional state. they're not
Like
gonna
the aliens are a cult and they're like recruiting. You can recruit like the damaged, weak people
yeah.
easier than
Then
the
like
happy, strong people. Like
exactly something like that, right?
mentally, yeah.
When the machine first topples over Sachiko, right? She's in this very emotional state. She feels like she's being rejected by freaking Yoji, who's seen her scar and is like visibly disgusted by it.
Right. Yep.
Um, and so as this thing is like holding her down, she's like, "Help me!" But then it's like holding her like how she wanted Yoji to hold her.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Right, and then it's doing to her what she wants Yoji to do to her.
yeah, right? And this thing isn't. It doesn't seem like it's being very rough. I don't know. It's really hard, right, to really go to it, right?
Yeah.
But obviously she's super distressed that now she's even more hideous than what she thought she was.
Right.
Um, and then and the whole eye thing is like them taking away their sight, so the parasite can have full control over them. This is really hard. Like, of course, Yoji was only going to be able to be taken over by a mutated parasite,
Right.
because even though Yoji is like an introvert and all that stuff, he doesn't, and like he might be a loner. He doesn't seem like emotionally distressed.
Right. Right.
Yoji looks like, he's going through the normal things of like being alone, but he also finds his own happiness within that.
Yeah.
Right?
No, definitely. Yeah.
And it's not like he's like pushing people away, because obviously he could push the neighbor away. He could tell him, get out of my house.
Right. Right.
Like, I don't want to go out with you.
And he's not weird enough, because like the boss even like invites him to come out to the party.
Yeah.
His neighbor always comes over a couple times and it's like, hey, let's go out.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's just that introverted. Just he would prefer to be alone than to be.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's still like, he's still able to like a girl,
Right.
and he steps out of his shell, like when he confronts his boss when the girl is about to get sexually assaulted, or like even when the girl asks for his help and he tries to get the parasite off of her.
Right.
He's like shown steps into growing as a person, and if this was a series, like I think we would have gotten like a couple episodes of him like using this
Developing.
Yeah, like he would be using this transformation to help other people from being attacked by these type of like monsters.
Right. Yep.
Because him not even succumbing to the eye drill, because Sachiko, she wasn't inhibited, like she could have stopped it, but because her emotional state was in distress,
She just let it happen.
right? But Yoji is like, no, and at least he's able to crush one of the eyes,
Right?
Because I think his other hand was just a normal hand, which is like kind of hilarious, because when you watch him walk around, he kind of look like Quasimodo. Looking for his Esmeralda. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I was like, all right, this has to mean more. So I was like, that's my whole mindset for the movie. As soon as I saw how ridiculous this movie was gonna get, I was like, there has to be more. This like Japanese cinema is weird enough where like they use these over the top situations and effects and storylines to try to convey something deeper.
Right. Yeah. But then the director's the same guy who did didn't he do like ass zombies?
Ass zombies? Is it zombies that only eat ass? That sounds like a porno.
Well, that's how like they get infected, is they like use toilets and something comes up and then turns them into zombies.
That's a metaphor for public like hygiene.
Right. Yes, that's true.
Like, always check before you sit down.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's some people there that don't wipe the toilet seat down after they're done using it. Yeah. That's how you spread like diseases.
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard Japan's like a really clean country, especially with toilets.
Right. So I guess a little bit of dirt would make you think you're going to turn into a zombie.
Yeah,
A little bit of
zombies.
filth.
Like ass zombies. Of course, my mind totally went to just like it's just a whole bunch of zombies eating ass. Like,
But there was another interesting part, like when you're like trying to read into things. When with the doctor, like he did make the comment, and you kind of like think about it. You're like, this is a father of a daughter who's been infected, and even though she's infected with like this alien parasite, and she has to eat other alien parasites, like he still loves her so much that he's like, I would turn the entire world into necroborgs so that, so she could survive, because that's how much I love my daughter. Is I don't care if the rest of the world goes into burns.
Right. I know he's totally like very, what's it called, mad scientist vibes.
Right. Yes.
Because like I mean, I think that's any father, right?
Right.
Until like someone, not a mad scientist, but like if a normal person was doing the same thing, and when it came down to like humanity or your daughter, I think that's also like a plot that they use in movies, where like sometimes you have to accept things.
Oh, right. Yeah. I lost my job and my daughter needs medicine. So I'm going to like rob a bank so that I can afford her medicine, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I would blackmail a senator so that I can.
I think these are all movie plots, Kobe.
Right.
I think the first one is John Q. My son is going to bury me. I'm not going to bury my son. I love that movie. I love John Q. It's like one of like Denzel's most wholesomest like freaking movie roles. I haven't seen that movie. You watched that movie, right?
It's been a long time since I've seen it too.
But it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. And the cast that they have a freaking Eddie Griffin in there. They have
right.
Yeah, they have Frankie from Boy Meets World. Have you seen him lately? Frankie from Boy Meets World. Do you know the bully?
Yeah.
Super buff now.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
His like wife was like, bro, you need to take care of yourself, your health. And he was like, all right, and he got super buff. I was like, man, that Boy Meets World money must be still coming in. Do they even still air that on TV?
I'm sure some
like Disney Channel,
some syndication, yeah,
right, Disney Channel or Freeform or something like that,
right.
Because
it seems like a Hulu or a Peacock or something would pick that up, and
right, because it's such a classic.
Yeah.
TGIF. Remember that?
Yeah,
man, what happened to that?
Right.
No, people were like, no, fuck staying at home on a Friday night. Everything's on a streaming service. That's why it doesn't really matter anymore. Oh man, but yeah, like what I did enjoy about this too is like, even though they barely just met, which Yoji even says, like, we just started.
Right.
He still goes like, obviously he could have just continued living a normal life, right?
Right.
He's like, oh man, that was a crazy night. What did he put in my drink for that hallucination or something like that?
Oh, my neighbor just got killed. At least he won't be asking me to borrow money again.
Definitely the cops are like, you're the number one suspect, Takichi always borrows money from you. You must have snapped. All your coworkers says you're quiet all the time.
You beat him to death with a bunch of rubber hoses. I'm not sure how he died.
Right, I'm gonna find the machete that you used on him. Fucking Christ, no. But like Yoji is like, as a person, even though he has like social anxiety probably, and like he's introverted, at heart he's a good person.
Right. Yep.
Right. And so like that's what made me like him as a character, even though like, so like there's parts where like things were happening, like obviously when she was getting taken by the thing. Because even when she gets fully transformed, he tries to still take it off of her, even while his hands were getting burned.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about, I was like, other people would be like, oh man, why didn't you just come on, you should have kept trying. You know, the hoses can't beat you up the whole time. It's like, dude, like you're gonna be in a state of shock,
Right. Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie.
This piece of breastplate armor just turned into some crazy
cyborg that I just saw chop my neighbor.
Right. Yeah.
And he still tries. So yeah, like that's what I think. Even in this movie, obviously, it's not gonna be a masterpiece of any kind.
Oh, it's kind of a masterpiece.
Well, I mean, 2005 was a pretty that year for Japanese cinema was pretty gory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Tokyo Gore Police and stuff like that.
Right. Yep. It's almost called same kind of timeline. What there was Yakuza Girl, when that was another one where it was like her leg was a gun and her arm was a missile launcher. And
That's just Mega Man. Yeah, this one, I think it felt like it had a lot of heart
yeah.
for it. Like maybe they didn't have the budget for like 20 more minutes for a little bit more story.
Right.
And then I don't think like it's gonna be really hard for like a Western audience to really look at this movie and enjoy it for what it is.
It's tough because if they would have cut fight scene to put more story in, everybody would have been like, oh, this is just like a love story. I needed more fight scene, So like you said, it's tough that they had a timeline and a budget and you know they did the best they could with it.
I know,
but they did some amazing stuff with practical effects. Though.
Yeah, the practical effects is it's solid, right? I think what would have made this movie a little bit better though is if we got at least like 10 to 15 more minutes with Sachiko to see things from her point of view,
right?
Because we barely got to see that. It happened mainly when she was having her breakdown. Because she was just like, come on, Yoji, why won't you hold me? Are you repulsed by me?
And there's a weird dream sequence where he's thinking about her, and then she starts to take her shirt off, and he's looking at the scar, and all of a sudden, like little hands come out of the scar, and like the cyborg version of her starts crawling out of the scar. And,
that would made me physically nauseous too. I was like, "Oh man!" Like it's not like the effect. Okay, it's practical, but the effects aren't like amazing for 2005. Amazing, but like just the visualization of it's so anime.
Yes,
it's very anime. So that I like that they took a lot of like chances with some of the scenes because and they used practical effects as much as possible. Right. All right, guys, we're coming up to our hour. If you watch this movie for Valentine's Day, you're welcome, and I'm sorry. But if this is the first time you guys are joining us, to let you guys know, we do our reviews in 4 sections. We have Stream It, DVD It, Blu-ray It, and the Who Watches This Ultimate Collection box.
You know what? I love this type of movie. If this came in a box collection with more stuff like this, that's just a gimme. It's a gimme. I would love to see a Blu-ray with like an extended cut. Give us an extra 15 minutes.
That would be amazing.
Some little bit behind the scenes, a little extra story. I'd definitely go Blu-ray on this. This is
even though Blu-ray is definitely going to have the second movie with it.
Right there. I was watching another reviewer who was saying that the HD they felt took away like the streaming and stuff is now like so high definition that it took away from like the original coloring and style that the director wanted to do for this. But oh man, I don't know. For some bonus scenes, a little extra stuff, I would definitely go Blu-ray.
Yeah, I could definitely see that complaint because I watched it on Tubi.
I did as well, yeah.
Shout out to Tubi. And there was definitely like frames where it's like it got degraded because of the conversion process, going from like a standard definition or whatever I don't know, what was it like back then, 480p or something?
Probably, yeah.
Right? Going from that to like almost like a 1080p. There was definitely frames that you could see were kind of distorted because of the conversion.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see, and like, yeah, the color, because like a color matters a lot, to like to movies, because they're supposed to convey some sort of setting for the mood or the feeling of this scene that's popping up.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, this is definitely, I think, be a fun one to always show friends. And kind of curious how the second movie goes. I feel like the second movie loses a lot of the heart. Just from like the stills that we saw together.
Yeah.
It looks more like
and then I feel
shonen.
like I'm sure it's probably a different director, so then it's probably a lot more CG than practical.
Yeah, and it definitely looks like a battle, like a battle sequel, like where there's no like.
Oh, and if we didn't say the sequel came out
2017,
12 years later.
Yeah, 12 years later, which I was like, that's pretty rare for like any kind of movie to get, if it's not like a prolific movie. Like just imagine like if they try to do like Fast Times at Ridgemont High 2 today. Who was it? It was Nicolas Cage in there.
Sean Penn.
There's
a bunch of people in that.
A bunch of famous people, right?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's like something like that. Like, obviously especially for today's like audience, I feel like if you didn't go through like this 80s phase where you wanted to watch all the old 80s movies, you definitely never heard of that movie, which was like a pretty famous movie from back then.
It was huge.
Yeah. It's like, like I know growing up, that was like always like, I was on rotation for Sunday movie night on the local Channel 5.
Right. Yep.
In California. Like it was that freaking all the John Hughes movies. Is it John Hughes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot because I feel like I messed that up a couple of days ago, and they're like, "You mean John Hughes?" I was like, yeah, that one, that guy, that fucking guy. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Make sure to check out the show notes down below. It has all our affiliate links. You guys are gonna go shopping on Amazon anyway, so why don't you throw your favorite boys some hot and spicy money?
Oh yeah. It's for hot and spicy chickens, not for the brothels. We're not going there. But of course, we got our Facebook. That's probably the easiest way to follow us and know when new things get posted. We have been regularly posting weekly for now over 2 years.
Right.
So we are on the ball. But certainly follow that and like and share and give us some suggestions, make us some comments.
Right, because me and Colby might do this until we're in retirement homes.
Right.
There's always new movies to talk about. All right, thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out who does the theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on her album for Music for Podcast 3, and her Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.